Welcome back to Ringer Tailgate, the Wednesday edition of the show. We're still reeling from everything that happened on Saturday. We learned a lot about many things on Saturday, but we also had Tuesday night CFP rankings, and we got a new chairman of the CFP, Hunter Yurachek, and he's breaking down why teams are ranked in certain spots. He's talking clusters, and the only time I like hearing about clusters is when Mike Leach is talking about Nerds Gummy clusters. But other than that, let's say what's up to our guys. Van Lathan. Van, good to see you, man.
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's time to tailgate, brothers.
Let's tailgate. We're fired up, and Van is fired up. And also, we got Joel Anderson in the TCU sweatshirt, as always. Joel, no hat this week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you all won. You know, y'all won. But also, I mean, look, I got a haircut, bro. Mm-hmm. You know, this is the only reason I had a cap on in the first place is that I got a haircut the other day. So, man, what are you laughing at, man?
You still copping, please, about that?
I mean,
the chat's still lingering.
I did not like how they were talking to me about that. Again, we talked about this a little offline before. And again, y'all pay attention to people's brims like that? For real? Like
a lot of rim watching.
Yeah. It's just something something I had never done in my life. I never looked at a dude. The only person's hat who I ever looked at was like LL Cool J and T.I. when he used to have his hat on, basically sideways. But that's it. I never really noticed it.
There's one other hat that I would marvel at. There was a show called Oz.
Oh my God!
And on the show, there was a character named Simon Adebisi.
Man, Adebisi.
And Adebisi had the hat that was on his head.
Yes.
And it was like a little kind of like hat, and it would be tucked to the side. And I would always wonder, how in the fuck is Adebisi's hat staying on his head? How is that happening? The actor went on to be in a lot of different things. Great actor, British African brother, I think. But I'm like, how did Adebisi's hat stay on? It's one of the 7 wonders of the HBO world.
Man. And he was always tilting his head too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would always hang on. I don't know if they had it sewn in or something. That was impressive.
Got to be one of the top 10 scariest characters to ever be on TV.
Oh no,
man.
it was nuts.
Yeah, he was crazy.
There was one scene in particular, and I'm not gonna talk about it. But it freaked me out so bad that I had to take a break from Oz.
Yeah,
man. Oz was on some shit, man. That was a crazy show, man. It really was.
This is Ringer Tailgate presented by FanDuel, and college football Saturdays are heating up. Whether you're in it for the early kick or the late night action, FanDuel lets you bet your way with same game parlays, live betting, game props, and more. And Missouri, get excited because FanDuel's coming your way December 1st. Download the app and head to FanDuel.com/tailgate and make every Saturday count. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. That was HBO primetime television, the beginning of great television that we've seen. You know, prestige TV, as we like to talk about. But let's talk about some TV last night. We got the CFP rankings, and we got one big reaction for each one of you guys. We got a new top 5 in the CFP. Alabama falls all the way down to number 10. They're actually behind Notre Dame, who sits at number 9 right now. Miami inching closer to the cluster with Notre Dame. And if they get in the same cluster, then the head-to-head will apparently matter. So then Miami will have to be ahead of Notre Dame. So there's a lot of things to really kind of read into the situation right now. But Van, I go to you first. One big reaction of the CFP rankings from this week.
Man, the SEC's still in this bitch. Everyone is talking about how it is over for the SEC, and other people are saying it. People are talking about how the fact that we can't operate our payment program behind the scenes anymore means
the bag dropping. Yeah.
Well, look, this is what somebody told me. Somebody who would know told me what really NIL did was change the calculus of what the $40,000 buys you. He was like, look, it used to be 40 grand was actually a bag. 40 grand, a job for your uncle, a job for your cousin, and all of that stuff. Those were things that really mattered. He changes it when it's $500,000. Now, that's different. That changes it. I'm not saying that I subscribe to all of that stuff, but I'm saying is that that's what people say. said it was over. If you look at these rankings right now, look at your top 10. A&M, Georgia, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Alabama, 5 in the top 10 from the SEC. The Big Ten doing its thing with 3 representatives right there, right? The Big 12, of course, occupying the spot that the Big 12 has always occupied, which was nothing.
Look, man.
You get Nathan but penetration unless it smells like sanitation. Garbage. It's what the Notorious B.I.G. said. And so I just looked at this, and it seems to me that the stories of the SEC's demise, they've been a little bit overstated, Joe.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I don't think anybody said that the SEC was no longer the premier conference in the country. I think the thing is
Big Ten. The Big Ten has been saying that they want that to be
the
done.
Big Ten to me is the premier conference in the country. They are to me.
This is true.
They are.
Well, this leads into my big reaction because you did say they had the biggest dick in college football a few episodes ago. I still think that cockwagon. Is that was it cockwagon? Did you give them?
Cock. You gotta say it, Joel. Say cock.
I'm not saying that.
Joel, if you're gonna say it. Okay,
I'm not gonna say it.
If you're gonna say it, Joel,
there's no need. There's no
dick
need.
is not aggressive enough.
Nah.
Need the harshness.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. So is this a cultural thing or a regional thing? Because I don't know that I've ever heard black dudes sit around talking about cock.
It's porn.
I hope not.
It's porn. It's
Fair.
a porn thing. Like
Or women.
if you watch porn, and it wasn't the guys, it was the girls that were saying in porn, and then as jokes, me and my friends would start to say it, just like we would start to say it, and it's just funny because we don't have to. I know on Tailgate we had the long tangents, but like it was funny to say the word in like 2002. You're around a bunch of girls, and they're like, "Oh my God, what they think is always talking about their dick or whatever." And you say, "I don't talk about dick. I talk about cock." And then to watch everybody go, "Ew," which is so nasty and aggressive. I apologize. Go ahead.
It is nasty. That's why I'm saying I just don't.
Joe
it's
won't
not
say
something
it.
that I'd really use. Yeah, I mean, I said it already, but I'm not gonna say it again. I felt like I made the point. I was trying to get clarity on what Van had said, but look, I think the difference is that the SEC is. People are talking about it's just not as deep as people have always claimed it is. Like people understand that at the top of the league, there's always like really good teams. Although it's kind of a little different this year. Like I guess A&M is theoretically the heavyweight in the conference, but again, but they're undefeated. But for people that have been passing around on the internet or social media that the list of the SEC standings and like who A&M has played in the SEC standings, and like nobody has been in the top half of the league. So they're still sort of untested, and people haven't kind of given them the props of a normal undefeated SEC team at this point in the year. But I think it's just like, all right, is Tennessee really as good as people think we are? Is Mizzou really as good as people saying they are? Vandy is getting a lot of credit. They have a couple, but I think people are more taking a viewpoint that it's just not as deep as people are saying it is. But the Big Ten. And so this is kind of what I was thinking about as I was been looking at these standings the last couple days. Man, the Big Ten is filling itself way too much. Please stop circulating the proposal to add more teams in the playoff, bro. We don't need to watch. Do you guys care if Michigan were to make the playoffs, would it change anything for you? I don't think so. Like they're not a national championship contender. I don't think we need to see them. I don't think we need to see Mizzou, right? I just think that we're getting way too, like what we have right now is really too much, but it's enough. I don't think we need to get the 4th place team in the Big Ten or the 4th place team in the SEC. I feel like if you lose 2 or 3 games, hey, man, you probably had a tough season, but we can pretty much tell within a reasonable doubt that you're not a national champion. Like, we don't need to play. We don't need to have you play a first-round game or anything to prove that. So I just think that, like, the playoff is already too big. We don't need any more. Big Ten, please stop trying to we don't need any play-in games. We don't need any of that kind of shit like they've got in the NCAA basketball tournament.
We also have a situation where, there is no objectivity, right? There is no such thing. That has always been kind of a farce in our world. And with this committee, there is a conversation about, well, they're all objective, even though they all have their hands in different pools. They've been playing for different teams. They're ADs of different schools. And Nicole Auerbach, reporter, put this out. Hunter Yurachek said, Oregon is still getting credit for beating Penn State, even though the Nittany Lions fell off after that game. We're going to get to James Franklin getting hired at Virginia Tech. That's how far Penn State fell off. Hunter Yurachek also said in the same conversation that it hurts Virginia that Louisville fell out of the rankings, and that was one of their best wins. So there's a lot of contradiction with this. And again, objectivity does not exist. So with the 12 teams, with objectivity really not being obtainable, can we ever get into a situation where everybody's happy, Van? Because it does feel like we're going to argue, and that's kind of part of the whole CFP situation anyway. They want us to argue with each other.
I want to say something to the Big 12 fans real quick. First of all, I love you and I see you. That's the first
Texas Tech's at number 5.
Don't do it,
Texas Tech's at number 5, and I was talking about the top 10, but if you look at the top 12, you have both BYU and Utah that they're in.
3 in the top 12.
3 in the top 12. So
Yeah, move the field goal posts. Yeah.
The Big 12 would have 3 teams in. I see you, Big 12. I see you, and I love you. Okay. You know, if we are out of the part of college football history where tradition really matters, the question is how, because I mean, the question with college football has always been how tradition meets competition. Tradition is such an important part of the sport that there are times in the past where tradition has trumped competition. Like what it means to have the sport of college football be unique has meant more than trying to find the absolute best team in the country. If tradition is out, if NIL killed tradition, if the transfer portal killed tradition, if these big TV contracts killed tradition, the question then becomes, how do we go all in on competition? How do we make sure that every single year college football is crowning the absolute best team? Now, in no sport does that happen, right? If you tell me right now that the 2007 Patriots play the Rams, not the Rams, play the
Giants.
The Giants. They played them 10 times in a row. If they played them 10 times in a row, I think the Patriots are losing 2 games at most. Mm-hmm. But they lost the Super Bowl, and that matters. So that year,
David
Giants,
Tyree, what a catch.
best team. What is adding teams to the playoff going to get us in terms of competition? I can argue what is going to get us in terms of money. I can argue what is going to get us in terms of culture. You can expose more teams to more things. What does it get us in terms of competition? And there is no way to argue, to Joe's point, that it gets us very much. Now, maybe it's not all about that, right? Competition is one thing, money is another. And money seems to be the reason. I'm not saying that, hey, look, we are drafting on the scale and the scope of college football. We're doing a show about something that is as big as it's ever been. Pause. That's a pause. It's a legitimate pause.
I give
Good pause.
That's a legitimate pause, right? Okay. And so we want the sport to get bigger so that what we're doing here gets bigger so that everyone has a bigger piece of the pie to get. So it'd be kind of hypocritical for me to say that the sport growing doesn't matter. But the playoff is a different thing. It changes fundamentally the season when you add more teams to the playoff. It changes the way the season goes. It changes the importance. It changes everything. I'm with that, but not necessarily for the sport to make more money. If in some way you tell me right now that we are going to get a more solid champion because we add more teams to the playoff, I'm good with it. If not, I think it's good at 12, man. I really do think it's good at 12. And honestly, I think 12 is a fucking stretch. I think with the fall off that you get between 6 and 10, 6 and 12, the quality of the team, the capability of the individual athlete, I think 12 is plenty enough, but I know it's not going to stop at 12.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And my thing is, if you play more games, it's more, the good teams are more likely to get hurt, right? They're more likely to lose somebody down the line. And I understand injuries are a part of the game, but at a certain point, you want people to have as much of their roster as they've had throughout the year when they were compiling this resume that got them to this point. And you'll go through the thing like what we did last year with Georgia, where Carson Beck was hurt and they had to throw in Gunnar Stockton at the end of the year, right? I don't see the need. And also the other big thing for me, just as a moral issue, they need to pay them boys more money then if they're going to play more games. Right? Like they don't ever get to negotiate that kind of stuff. And so I would want to see them have a seat at the table and say, all right, if y'all going to make us play 16, 17 games like we're professionals, then I want a little bit more of the revenue pot other than a pittance, which is what they kind of get right now. And I'm not trying to diminish it, but it's just like, they're not really getting necessarily paid what they're worth out of the pot that they generate. And I still think they should get more of that. If you're going to make them play more games, then you better be prepared to pay them more. But yeah, I don't want to see more games. Do you guys want to see Iowa and get into a bracket and think that they're going to contend for a national championship? They've already had their chances. They've lost enough games. I don't want to be arguing over 3 and 4 lost teams in December about who should be in the playoffs.
Okay, so let's look at the teams that exist from 13 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Miami, Vandy, SC, Georgia Tech, Texas, Michigan, Virginia, Tennessee. Some teams are upstart teams having great seasons, but most of these are pretty established brands. GT, not right now. Virginia, not. But most of these teams, and Vanderbilt, just obviously not, but most of these teams are, established brands. Brands that bring a lot of people with them to a playoff. Texas, Michigan, Miami, SC, Tennessee. Would you not be interested in, could I interest you in, say, BYU versus SC? In a playing game? Could I interest you in Tennessee versus Notre Dame? Could I interest you in Vandy versus Oregon? Are you into that, Joel? Can I interest you in something fun? A little razzmatazz, baby.
I would watch it because I would watch football, right? And I would watch those brands because if they were playing in the Meineke Car Care Bowl, I'm going to watch that game, right?
That's the problem too with the other bowl games. I mean, the more that we do this and stretch it out, it's just the whole bowl system is completely flawed and just broken at that point. Even though it already is trending in that direction, right?
And people are already unhappy, man. I was thinking about this today. How many fan bases and coaches are actually happy right now? Like it just feels like if you don't, if you lose a third game, Indiana, Ohio State, A&M.
They happy.
Georgia and Texas Tech.
It's some happy motherfuckers out here. Like, you got to be happy right now if you Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, Notre Dame. There's just, but that goes back to the cluster thing I said at the top for the the people that didn't get that reference. So the way they grade out these teams, they do them in 4s. So they do like the top 4 teams in a cluster. They do the next 4 in a cluster. Then they do the next 4 in a cluster. And right now, Miami is 1 spot away from being in the same cluster as Notre Dame. And when they're in the same cluster, they do head-to-head as the premium. Notre Dame and Miami, if they're in the same cluster, then Miami has to be in front of Notre Dame. So that's how they grade out these teams. So, the whole system is ridiculous in general, the fact that we're talking about clusters.
Right, absolutely. And the thing is, you got to assume if BYU makes it to the Big 12 championship game, given the way that game went, like I would much rather see Utah in that Big 12 championship game because I just think that was early in the year, the different team, more explosive, whatever. But if they got to line up BYU and Tech again, it's like, well, all right, Tech is going to beat BYU. Maybe BYU drops. Then Miami potentially in that cluster.
Mm-hmm. So Utah has Kansas State and Kansas left.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas State is a game that they should win, but you just never know with Kansas State when the talent on the roster is going to show up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Kansas is a rivalry game. Well, not really a rivalry game for Utah, just like an in-conference type of thing. So Kansas is going to get their ass whooped. What the fuck am I talking about? But it to me, Utah fans should be really thinking that they're probably close to being in the playoff if winning these next couple of games gets them in. The question is, how would Miami get in right now? Like, what would have to happen to get Miami in? And we see reshuffling and shakeups every single week. But if Miami gets there with Notre Dame, the question I always ask, and I say all that to get to this question, is what matters more to the committee, losses or wins? Is it about who you beat, or is it about who you lost to? That is a fundamental difference that we don't really talk about in terms of what's important.
I hear that, and again, I'm usually a head-to-head person, but I also know that one game is it's just one sample. It's just one part of a sample size, right? Like it's not a particularly big part. And then when the game happened, we're not really talking about the same teams anymore. Like again, it should count. It does count because that's the only reason we're having this debate, right? The only reason we're having this debate is because people are like, hey, man, Miami beat Notre Dame at the beginning of the year. But if you look at the two teams and the way that they've played since, like it wouldn't really be much of an argument. And we asked our friends at FanDuel, right, if they played on a neutral site, who would win that game? They got Notre Dame almost a touchdown favorite. It's 5.5 points, man. So, like, I mean, I think most people think that Notre Dame is a much better team than Miami at this point in the season. That's all.
So let me tell you why I feel this way and why I always hold on to this. It's LSU based again. It's nothing to do with scars from 2011. I feel like if you go on the road and you beat somebody, that's not what happened with this game, that you shouldn't have to fucking play them again. Whatever, let's just move on.
Oh, yeah, man. I was right with you on that. I think that LSU should have had to play Alabama for the championship.
It's terrible.
It's not fair. I was like, oh, they already beat them, though. They shouldn't have to play them again. Yeah. Great
Fans
game.
disgusted as
That
you're
was a
talking
great
about
game,
it.
man.
It does feel like at some point, as we kind of the season wanes on, depending on how all these conference championships end up kind of playing out, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami, those are going to be the three teams that are kind of circling that last at-large spot. And if Alabama gets into the SEC championship game with things breaking their way, and they happen to lose to Texas A&M, they were going to have 3 losses. And then a situation where they might be out of the playoff, even though they're in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have SEC people say, well, what's the point of the championship game? I'd rather be outside of the championship game, not go in there and take another loss and then get left out as an at-large team.
Will they be in, or would Georgia have a shot to get in and play against Texas A&M at that point?
Well, I'm saying if Georgia, if they lose, and like down the stretch, right?
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I think they would have to jump. I need to look at there's so many different possibilities. I'm just saying if Alabama ends up in that game and they lose, they get a 3rd loss.
Yeah.
Then you have people saying the conference championship game is actually something that we don't want. We want it for the money. Going back to, Van's point at the beginning, money is the anthem that we all kind of, agreed to with this whole college football setup. But if the money's not worth it to lose a spot in the playoff, I mean, there's just so many factors at play right now.
The conference championship game should only help you.
Yeah,
I agree.
Really
I think if you're in the conference championship game, you should probably be in, right?
It's a game you don't have to play. Yeah.
I feel like it should only help you. I feel like unless you get and here's the problem with the conference championship game, is not just a winner. Every game isn't just a winner loss thing. Because if you get to the conference championship game and you get fucking walloped, let's say for example there was a team that was in the playoff and they actually won a playoff game. But then in the next game, after the game that they won, they got fucking destroyed. I mean, like, crazy fucking killed in front of the whole nation. Like, they went out there. They won a game that people didn't expect that they was going to win, right?
Yeah, they did.
The next game,
I'm familiar with this example. So, yeah, I hear you. It's a game that LSU hadn't played in a long time. Okay. Just for clarification.
The question is, is it worth? Does it change your entire perspective of the team once they get just fucking destroyed? And that can also happen to you in the championship game. That's why, to me, playing in the game should only help you, but it still does matter how you look in that game against the other best team in your conference.
Right.
But for Florida State, we've already seen the precedent, right? They go to the ACC championship game without Jordan Travis. They win 16-6. It wasn't a pretty game. They basically say, hey, this team is not who they once were, even though they're undefeated. They're out. You know what I mean? I know it's expanded since then and all that sort of stuff.
I understand. But I still think that performance by Florida State in that game is one of the gutsiest, most. I look at that team. You can say whatever the fuck you want. I think that team deserved to be in the playoff.
Of course.
Yeah.
They were undefeated.
Yeah, I think that team deserved to be in the playoff. I think that winning that game was gutsy, and it showed just what that team was made of. I think that's one of the greater tragedies in college football that's happened in the last handful of years, 10 years, is Florida State not making the playoff. I think it was bullshit.
Damn.
And their quarterback threw for 55 yards in that game. People forget.
When it was not pretty football to win.
Very bad.
But they did not fold. They played super fucking hard. I thought it was a great job by the coaching staff, a great job by the kids to come together and win that football game, and for them to not be rewarded for everything that they had done because of injury. I thought it sucked. I still think it's whack. Fuck it.
I mean, man, I think the conference championship games, they're going to get rid of these eventually, because the thing is, and I'm trying to figure out like the SEC tiebreakers, but it looks like A&M and Bama are still supposed to be matched up, like they're still the prohibited favorite to play in the SEC championship game. Do you know how good Georgia must feel about? I mean, all we got to do is close out our season, and then we can avoid having to play that game, man. Another game where we're gonna get beat up, risk dudes getting hurt. You know, like who will want to play in that game if you don't have to, and you already know you pretty much got a spot in the playoffs, right? Yeah.
That's the other part. I mean, these conference championships at some level, you're like, I'd rather preserve and try to go win the national championship, especially if you're an SEC type team, that is the ultimate goal. Billy Gill reached out and said that he had a proposal that he wanted to present to us that might save some of these kind of, outstanding questions that you have at the end of the season. So Billy Gill, now live and in the flesh. Billy, I turn it over to you. You have a proposal you want to give, the guys to let them break down what we should do at the end of the season to figure this stuff out.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this for a year or so. I kind of soft launched this last year, didn't catch a ton of momentum, but you guys are kind of talking about this, and I feel like maybe you'll be more receptive to it now, right? So college football is full of its traditions, but now kind of we've tossed that out with the playoffs and the NIL and all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So we have a situation where you have the rankings, obviously, and even the top 12 don't necessarily make it because you have, the conference champions that have to make it in. So some people that are in the top 12 won't even make the playoff. But what's the biggest problem with the scheduling that we have in college football, would you say?
Out of conference scheduling?
I would say conferences are too big, and so the conference schedules are just too different,
The fact that it's scheduled years in advance. Exactly right. Thank you, guys. So here's the thing. You can't really...
I said that on the last podcast.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really control who you're playing because you schedule these things out 3-4 years.
Are you about to make an argument for... go ahead, Billy. That's all right. Go ahead.
Well, what's that? What's happening, Joel?
I'm just saying. Go ahead. Just go ahead and do it.
You always do this, Joel. Let Billy cook.
Say the word,
I always
Joel.
do this. He just started the show. He just started. He's got here. Go ahead, Billy.
So what if we revolutionize college football? And I'm not going to mess with like the last week of the season. That's rivalry weekend. We all know that, right? You don't want to mess with rivalry weekend. What if the weekend before we have an opt-out week where a week before that, there's an opt-out period where you can say, you know what, I'm opting out of this game against this opponent because it's not beneficial to me. So you have like a 3-4 day window where any team in college football can decide, you know what, I'm opting out of my like week 12 game, and we're going to work with another school. We're going to figure out a matchup that works more beneficial to us. And you can opt out for a number of reasons, right? Like you can be like a Utah or someone, right, who's like there, but they don't necessarily have the games at the end of the season to boost their resume to get back in the playoffs. Or you can be a school that's like Indiana, for example, right? Where like they know they're probably going to be in no matter what, but they want to preserve their undefeated season. So they're saying, you know what? We want to play Charlotte that weekend to make sure that we get a win and we remain undefeated for the rest of the season. Or you can have smaller schools that say, you know what? We'll be a sacrificial lamb, and we're just going to get a payday for someone who wants an easy win here to get in. There's a number of things that you can do with an opt-out here.
Okay, question. How many times can you opt out?
There's just the one. You just have that
just one week.
Opt-out.
It's the opt-out week. And then it's an opt-out pool, right?
Oh, so it's
Billy?
just
So there's
one
a bunch
week.
of teams that are
So
in
it's
the
not one
opt-out
opt-out.
pool.
It's one specific week where you can say, we don't have to play this game.
It's opt-out week. So like 2 weeks before, you have anyone who's open to the opt-out, they declare for the opt-out in like a 3-day span, right? And then you'll have like the McShays or whoever out there, and they're reporting like, I'm hearing Texas A&M is considering the opt-out. And then there's breaking news, and there's people reporting on the opt-out. And then naturally there's like wheeling and dealing behind the scenes where like schools are, the fix is in, where they already know we're going to play this person, right?
Yeah.
But you have the schools choose to opt out, and then they have to kind of negotiate with the other schools what their game is going to be amongst the other teams that have opted out.
It's all in the pool together, and then when they opt in to play each other, that's the update. It's like Texas has opted out of playing the Citadel, and now Texas is going to play
Michigan.
This Michigan
A game that
team
can help them.
That can
Exactly
help them.
right.
Yes.
So
But wait, what if Michigan? What is
then they
Michigan
get a
supposed to
game
do?
that can help. They opt out of a stupid, and then Billy, I'm fucking with it, bro. So
Wait,
like,
no, wait. Why would Michigan? Wait, why would Michigan? So Texas calls out Michigan. They're like, "I mean, we're gonna opt out of this game. We want Michigan." And Michigan's like, "Well, I got a game that week, though."
Well,
No,
because
Michigan
Michigan has to be in
opt
the
out.
pool. They have to also be in the opt. Everyone that's in the pool, like it's just
And
you
then
make
opt
the
out. Oh, they
announcement that
get
you're
to-
opting into
oh.
the pool or opting out of the game that you're already in. You opt into the pool with everybody. Then people start making matches of like,
Yeah.
what could help me beating a top 20 team?
This is-
what do I want to avoid a top 20 team? So I want to play.
this is a terrible idea.
This
or
is
whatever it is.
revolutionary.
This
Terrible.
was a,
See, you know
this,
what? You know
this
what?
was a terrible
I'm with it.
idea
No, I
until you
fuck
gave
with
me
it.
the Todd McShay report. When you said it like that, I was like, man, that kind of like the idea, that little buzz going there, right? You know,
Joel
like,
still
oh,
got
man.
beef with Billy Gill.
Yeah, that's
Hold
what
on a
it's
second.
really
I know, I don't have beef
like,
with Billy.
this was
I don't have beef with
really
Billy.
about
You're
that.
telling, you know what, Joel?
Joe
Be a,
got something against
be a professional
I like the
here.
I like
You know
the
what I
Todd
mean?
McShay. What are you talking? Look, really
I like the
offline.
opt-outs and the opt-ins. That's good.
Look, well, Vandy would love an opt out right now. You know what I mean? Joel,
Vandy needs a win. To me, Vandy, if Vandy
Right.
could opt out right now, and let's say Vandy could get a game with, I don't know, name a team on this schedule that would be in the opt-in pool, another quality win, they would
So
love
Virginia.
the opportunity to.
So you think Vandy versus Virginia? You think they would prefer to do that than Tennessee?
I mean, Vandy versus Virginia, Vandy versus Michigan, Vandy versus Miami.
So the opt-out week would be this week. So Kentucky plays Vanderbilt this week. So Vanderbilt this past weekend on Sunday puts in that they're opting out of their Kentucky game, right? So now Kentucky's in the pool, Vanderbilt's in the pool, and then Virginia says, "Hey, we want to also change our matchup for this weekend because we want to help embolden our resume." So then Vanderbilt and Virginia, and then the team that's higher in the CFP rankings gets the home field advantage, right, Billy? That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
And then
Georgia
they play
Tech,
each other. Right.
9-1 right now. Georgia Tech. They're not going to make the playoffs unless they win the ACC, and even then, they may not make the playoffs. Right? Opt out is the perfect opportunity. Get yourself a quality opponent. Get back in the playoffs.
So I guess the thing is this. So if one team elects to opt out, the other team is automatically in the opt out as well.
Yeah, the other, I guess in that situation, Kentucky technically did opt out, even though they might necessarily not have wanted to.
Well,
Maybe we
because-
make this
yeah,
like a
who
home
decides?
team thing.
Well, because here's the deal though. If Kentucky doesn't find somebody to play, you're costing them money. They don't get to have a game.
There's a fee. There's an opt-out fee.
So there's an opt-out fee.
You have to pay
Yeah.
the team.
Everyone's going to be made whole on this.
Ah,
Oh
okay,
no,
that's
not,
very important
not
because-
the players, because they want to play that game. They're gonna miss. People get paid, and all these guys that have been waiting all year to play this game.
They'll
I mean, all of a
find
sudden it goes away.
Joe,
They'll find
Joe,
someone to play.
Joe, can you try? Joe, can you try? Like
What?
Joe, try.
I mean, no. I just don't think it's a good idea.
The players.
This
I
isn't
love that
personal.
you think the players are gonna care. The
Field
He
players
threw
have
it up
so
like
much
they
tape.
are. You
The
only
players
get
have
so many.
much tape on them by this point. at
You
the end
have
of the
you
season.
only have so many game days in your life.
There's
you
people
only
waking
get
up saying, "I wish I
12
played
to
Kentucky."
13. Yeah. You don't know what great is going to happen that Saturday. You don't know what amazing thing might happen. Diego Pavia might do something to boost his Heisman, chances.
He would
or
boost it
something.
even more.
Well,
playing
that's
Virginia.
okay.
That's the
So
point.
that's another thing that you can kind of take into account here, right? So Diego Pavia, you could have a situation where they're just saying, you know what? Do we want to do what's best for the team, or do we want to pick an opponent where Diego can put up 700 yards this weekend
Right.
and win him a Heisman?
But then everybody would know. Everybody would look at, why did you guys schedule
cares?
Jacksonville State in the final week of the
Yeah,
season?
they opted out of Kentucky and they scheduled
But then
FIU.
that-
Let's
But then-
get him some numbers against Sam Houston.
But then
Okay.
that becomes a part of the conversation. It's like,
It'd be a dumb
Dale probably has
conversation.
all of these statistics, but we have to consider that there was an opt-out game that they played at the end of the season
Right.
against an inferior opponent, which is he made his Heisman stance. Or he opts into a game against somebody that's lit. He
Van.
goes crazy and he goes to New York.
Well, no, then you also have a situation
Yeah.
where the committee gets together at the end of the year, right? And they're like, you know what? Like, we're a little bit on the fence here about Oklahoma, and they chose not to opt out to better their cause. Like, do we want to put them in the playoffs if they decide, you know what? Like, we're going to play Kansas State instead of going out and trying to earn that
Because
spot?
they're ducking.
Then
There was-
exactly, if you choose not to opt out, that could affect you as much as if you did choose to opt out.
There's a reason this idea didn't catch on last year.
Why?
Because it's not good.
Joel.
It's not a good idea, Billy. I like you. It didn't have anything to do with you as a person.
This is personal.
This is a terrible idea.
personal.
It's a terrible
He was
idea.
in there this week.
All these fans have spent all year. They're like, "Hey man,
chat's
me and
got me, Joel.
my crew, we're gonna go. Me and my crew, we're gonna go, man. We're gonna have a nice weekend in Baton Rouge.
That's on
And then
you. That's on
and
you.
then the Monday of that
It's
week, they're like,
opt-out
"Oh man,
week.
LSU opted out. LSU
Everybody
opted
knows
out."
it's opt-out week.
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna be saying. It's like, hey man, just let you know, you might not want to bring the whole family down to Tallahassee. It's opt-out week.
Yeah.
Like it's like you know what I'm saying?
No.
It's on the
opt-out week.
schedule. Everybody
No,
knows.
opt-out week is.
You make
Opt-out
a
week is-
hotel reservation that's refundable just in case there's an opt-out and you can't make the trip or you don't want to see the game.
And it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving too. So I mean, people already have plans for Thanksgiving anyway, Joel. So I think that if opt-out week is on the schedule and everybody knows it's opt-out
Yeah.
week, it's all good.
What did people say to you when you said this last year? Because obviously it didn't work out. People were like, "No, that doesn't make any sense."
I
What
think
did they
it's
say last
going
year?
well. I think this is a you thing, if we're going to be perfectly honest. Like, I think this is going
I'm buying
perfectly
into it.
well. Yeah, this is fun. Joel, I mean, come on. We live in a different world. The Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore. There's evolution now in college, you know?
So
I mean, I appreciate you trying to do something that's innovative, right? And again, when you did the Todd McShay shit, I was like,
Backhanded
"Oh yeah,
compliment.
man, I like
Yeah.
that." But it's too logistically challenging. It doesn't make a
So
lot of sense.
look, I just want to let you guys know that Joel is one of these people that is afraid of the future. I said that the schedules for every year should be made after the SEC meetings in the off season. They should all get together and make the schedule for the upcoming year right then. Because now it's too fucked up. A bridge too far for some. Opt out. I'm for flexible scheduling since all of these conferences have gotten so ginormous. I'm for it. Yeah. And it also adds drama to think about some of these coaches that we've seen come on and make these impassioned pleas about their teams. They wouldn't even have to do that. They could put it on the line,
Play the games.
play the games.
Also, Kirby Smart just said in his press conference this week, when guys transfer out, he puts them on the schedule, and everyone's like, that's not true because the schedules are made 5 years in advance. So that was kind of a fake nomenclature that he made. But if he has the opt-out week, if his second string running back transfers to a team and is a star, and then it's opt-out week and they're both in the pool, and he's like, we want you.
Storyline.
Like, we will. You know what I mean? Like the
Storyline.
storylines are great. They're
I
great.
can't
Storyline's
see how this goes poorly, Joel. I don't understand how this could go badly.
Well, yeah, I mean, other than like just blowing up like a schedule for all these fans that want to come, and then again, you just kind of offhandedly be like, everybody will be made whole. These kids will lose a game. And I
No,
was
they're
like,
not
oh,
going to
yeah.
lose a game. They'll just
No
play
one's losing
someone
a game.
else.
They'll
Yeah,
play
everyone's
somebody else.
No.
Think about right now if Miami could opt out and then opt into playing Georgia. Think if there was some kind of way. I don't know why Georgia would do that, but think about if there was some kind of
Carson
way.
back revenge game.
You know
That
what
wouldn't
I'm
help
saying?
them get into the ACC championship game. Why would they do that? That would be
They
crazy.
don't want to play in the ACC.
They don't want to
championship
play in
game
the
at this
ACC.
point.
Now you just
They need to
being-
play an ACC championship
Hey,
game.
Well, it's out.
Not if
what-
they beat
It's not gonna break
Georgia.
their way. Yeah, if they beat Georgia, they're in as an at-large.
Hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna break this out. We're gonna let the people decide.
The Richt Bowl.
The opt out, whether or not it works or not. I'm for this. I'm from whatever type of thing we could get to get flexible scheduling in college football. It's got to
I
be more
say
flexible
aye.
than it is right now. Too many teams stacked in these conferences. It's too much of a luck of a draw with these teams. You might have a team where all the transfers hit. Now that team is good. Like it's just there's so much that's going on. There's no stability there. So to me, I feel like the scheduling has to be more flexible than it used to be. It just has to.
Like, what if Miami and Utah are both in the opt-out pool, and they're right there next to each other, 12 and 13, and they want to play each other?
They play each other?
That would be a
Miami and
great
Utah.
game.
And what's going to happen? I don't understand. So one team will win, and then they'll be number 12.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, I'm better than them. You just watched it.
Or then
Now
you
I took
start
their spot.
you're Utah, you start putting out the leaks. Like Utah's trying to strike a deal with Miami for the opt-out game, and Miami's ducking them.
Mhm.
Then that's
They don't
out
wanna
there.
play 'em.
Exactly right. And then the committee has
Yeah.
to take into account, well, hold on a second. Do we want a Miami in this tournament that didn't want to play Utah and really earn their stripes?
Because you
here?
gotta, it is
Didn't
like
wanna
3
play 'cause they're like,
days
this
of
was
trying to
dumb. We have a
schedule it.
home
The
game.
ADs are on the phone.
We have a home game. All of our
Great.
fans were coming in for this weekend. A local economy floats on a lot of
Oh
this. Like
my
this is a
God.
big infusion of cash.
Have you-
But we're
have
gonna
you
do
seen-
the opt-out game.
Have you seen
We're gonna
attendance
do an
at
opt-out
Miami
game.
games? There's no
We're gonna do an
economy
opt-out
on
game.
earth.
So we're giving up a home game.
Hold on. The economy.
We're not it's just not Miami. How do you know that Miami isn't playing at wait?
University of Miami football.
Wait, who is Miami playing in this opt-out?
Everywhere you
weekend?
go in Miami,
playing
is some
Utah,
nigga in a
but they're playing
Lamborghini,
Virginia,
bro.
Texas.
Okay, well Utah needs that. Utah needs that.
It's some insane looking girl with some guy in a fucking spaceship. The economy in Miami. Oh my God.
Hey, you all are focused too much on the home site there. I'm just saying, then why would teams give up this home game or have all their fans coming in for a rivalry game at the end of the year, like it inevitably is, for the concept of an opt-out game? That's real. I mean, I don't know. Okay,
No, it's not. It's not.
Let's poll it.
rivalry
I'm
week.
gonna
Yeah.
lose. I'm gonna lose the. Oh, it's not rivalry week.
No, it's the week
It's a
before
week
rivalry.
before, Joel.
Yeah.
Joe, are you listening?
Joe is.
I am listening. Okay, hold on.
He just wants to hate the idea.
Joe, are you listening?
Joe is
No, wait. I got confused. You guys keep arguing with me, and it confused me. Okay. You guys kept arguing with me.
God.
Joel,
Okay.
Joel, just to give you a rundown of some of the games that are happening this week, just in the SEC.
That's because it's the SEC, because they're the weak. They're the
now we're
weak
gonna have
nuts.
9 conference games, but this is
We say
opt-out
weak
week.
nut.
We got Texas A&M going up against Samford. We got Georgia going up against Charlotte. Auburn going up against Mercer. Right. So like, if they opt out of those games,
I know the SEC is being hosed this week. I understand. Yeah,
I'm just
they always
saying,
do
if they
this.
opt out of those games, then Charlotte's in the pool, Mercer's in the pool, Sanford's in the pool. So if there's some teams that are just like, hey, I want to hide out and just get a win, Indiana, they're like, hey, we'll play Sanford this week. You know, they're in the opt-out pool, so we'll opt out of our game.
Hey,
So it just
let
opens
Charlotte
up.
and Mercer play each other. I think it's okay. Although I will say that
They're not gonna get that money. That
that's
they
what I'm
lose.
saying.
Play
They still gotta
Kentucky.
get paid.
That's what Joel's worried about.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Kentucky?
Joe wants Kentucky to get a game on the schedule.
Kentucky, why would Kentucky want to lose a game? Man, the kids, they spent all year wanting to play this game this time in
Joel,
the
who's
year.
your
You
favorite
playing
Kentucky football player? If you had to pick
Andre Woodson.
Andre Woodson.
No, well, I don't know, man.
like it.
Who was big boy, man? Jared Lorenzen, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rest in,
R.I.P.,
the,
man.
the Pillsbury throw boy. Rest
R.I.P.
in peace, man.
Yeah, man. Who was the kid? He was kind of like a little
Wasn't
kinda
Tim
like a
Couch?
pocket knife.
Didn't Tim Couch go to Kentucky? No.
Tim
Randall
Couch was number
Cobb.
1 recruit in the country, man.
Randall
yeah.
Cobb would be a good one.
Randall Cobb.
I liked it, Billy.
I liked it too, Billy.
I liked the
I
vision.
like you, Billy. I think
No.
you've been a great addition to the program.
Yeah.
But I,
Oh, so
Joel
now-
started
now we got
personally
full-on
and
hate.
ends it personally.
Hold on.
It's always he spent all week
Hold on,
texting
hold
me,
on.
trying to like cause
Now we got
problems with
full on.
me.
No.
with text.
No.
Yeah.
Allison actually reached out and said for Billy to stop fucking with me. She's made her choice. Okay, and she's known you much longer than me. I don't even think I've met Allison in person yet.
He's like,
and
I'm
she
being
took my
bullied.
side.
It's not nice.
Now we
Billy's
got
doing
that,
to me.
that
Yes.
statement right there. I could tell that was full on hate. That was full on hate.
And I wasn't
That
hate.
statement right there. You know what? Fuck it. You know what? Fuck opt out week. You know what we're gonna do? We're not opt out week. We're not worrying about going to play. We opting in to going to Houston, and our dogs is gonna be barking. We going to Houston, and that's what we need is to get a nice foot massage in Houston.
Yeah,
Joel,
man.
I'm
As a
sure
team.
you can-
As a team.
Joel,
I told y'all.
Joel, you
Also,
can help us.
hey, tailgate listeners, by the way, Van didn't send my dad shit. Okay, by the way, he didn't get no barbecue, no nothing. So you talked all that shit. You said you would go do it.
Joel's dad was listening. He's like, okay,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
my
I'll put
dad's
that-
like, oh, I thought I was supposed to get some good barbecue or something. So yeah, you disappointed a veteran.
Band-aids to troops.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what
respect the
that's
troops.
what Pat said. Pat said if you didn't like what I did, Pat said if you didn't like what I did, you hate the troops. Fuck you. I'm like, God damn, Pat. Oh my God. Woo.
Great proposal, Billy. I thought
All
that
right.
was
Proposal,
fun.
Billy.
We don't have to. You guys don't have to keep saying that to make it
One for one.
1 for 1 there. November 22nd, opt-out week. Let's put it on the board. Let's get the CFP committee on that. Hunter Yurachek, he's the guy that needs to get that done. One big question. Let's flip forward. Let's talk Lane Kiffin, because there is a lot of people talking about Lane Kiffin, a lot of reports about planes with Lane's family on the plane. So one big question is simple. Is Lane Kiffin playing all of us, or is he actually looking at LSU in Florida? Joel, I'll go to you first here. Do you believe that Lane Kiffin is flirting around and looking for other places, or is this just a big troll job?
No, absolutely he's serious. I mean, first of all, if he considered Auburn just a year ago, or for whatever the last time that Auburn was open,
2022, yeah.
2022, then he absolutely is taking this very seriously. And
Auburn's actually open as well, I feel
Auburn
like no
is
one's
still-
talked about Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn's open again. Nobody cares, right? It's like, well, we'll take who's left over. And look, so did you all see him? We were just talking about Pat McAfee. Did you all look at the interview that he did on Pat McAfee earlier this week?
I did see it.
I did
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and he used that opportunity to deny that Ole Miss had given him an ultimatum. But I was kind of thinking about this because, like, Wale was talking about something about how, like, he doesn't talk to the people in the industry anymore because when he told people his problems, and, like, J. Cole comes out with a song called False Prophets with a second verse, is about a guy who sounds an awful lot like Wale, right? And it's just like you could tell that there was some friction in their friendship, that they were never able to get it back together. Well, I kind of feel like that's kind of what's going on with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. Like, even if the reporting wasn't quite accurate, like, even if, like, there's a misunderstanding here, it's like you can feel there's just enough friction right out there right now, and that, like, people were criticizing Lane Kiffin because of what he said about the crowd after a game a couple weeks ago. It's just like you just feel like it'll be really tough for them to sort of get back to where it was, right? Like, you feel like Lane has kind of already got a foot out the door. And I mean, if the ultimatum thing is true or not, it just puts a lot of bad feelings out there. It's just a lot of bad vibes around it. And I feel like at a certain point, it's just really hard to get that back.
I think that's fair. I actually agree with what you're saying, that it could be true. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I tend to believe that if there wasn't some chance that he would leave Oxford, that he wouldn't be doing this. If there wasn't some chance that he would take another job, that he wouldn't seem to be so overtly courting the courting that's being done. Mm-hmm. Lane Kiffin is coaching a football team that has one loss right now.
In the playoff.
Yeah.
In the playoff, a team that is having one of the greatest seasons in school history.
Yeah.
Right? And if Lane Kiffin is not coming out and saying, I will be at Ole Miss University, I will be here, the University of Mississippi, for years to come. If he's not saying that, if he's not committing himself to that, if he's not doing what Kurt Signetti did, if he's not doing what Mike Elko did, if not that Elko was in any danger of leaving, but if he's not doing that, you have to ask why. You have to ask why he isn't doing that. Because if, in fact, Lane Kiffin just likes being the center of attention, just likes being the guy behind the headline, and he really has no intention of leaving, then he's an irresponsible head coach.
Yep.
He's an irresponsible leader of those young men. He's an irresponsible steward for the football culture of Ole Miss. And I don't think that he's that. So I don't think that Lane Kiffin is arrogant enough to sort of let all of this stuff swirl around if he is resolute in the fact that he's not leaving Ole Miss. I don't know that he's that type of arrogant. So, I don't have an answer, but I tend to believe that he's actually considering getting the hell out of there.
Yeah.
He already did consider it. I think that's Joel's original point. So, that's why Ole Miss fans are very upset, because they're like, not only are you entertaining these other options, you're trolling me while you do it, I think that's the
Needlessly
hardest part.
cryptic. Needlessly cryptic. You could end the speculation by signing an extension or doing what Van said. I love it here at Ole Miss. There's no need in me going anywhere else. I can do everything I want to do and accomplish everything I want to right here.
Or
in
even
Oxford,
Brent
Mississippi.
Key at Georgia Tech says, cut me open. I bleed these colors, right? He can even say something as, innocuous as that, or like, hey, I was left, to my own devices. I was at Florida Atlantic. Nobody believed in me. I wasn't getting a shot from anybody, and Ole Miss gave me a shot.
Yep.
Right? There's so many things he could say, but he's saying none of that. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's go ahead, Van.
You got it, Joe.
Okay, well, I was going to say, because, like, the thing is, I get it. He has to explore these options, because we're talking about tens of millions of dollars and an opportunity to coach at some of these elite programs for maybe the final time in his career. Like, this is not a moment that's going to come up very often, where LSU and Florida are going to be vying for your services, and it seems to be the top coach on the market right now. Like, that's just not a scenario that is probably going to happen again. So he has to responsibly, like, look at all his options and consider what's best for him. But the way that he's sort of conducting himself, it leaves it open to be like, oh, okay, you kind of shitting on these people, bro. Like Tate said, like, they gave you an opportunity when not a lot of people thought that you would get back to that level again, right? That people thought, oh, this is a dude who Nick Saban fired the week of the fucking national championship game, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, it spoke a little bit about, man, like, what does Nick Saban, who is anti-distraction as anybody in the world, he got rid of a guy. So it's like, obviously Lane, if he wasn't on the track to something like this, and you could just see that, like, all right, well, he's clearly thinks, he's listening and taking all the offers that he can get, but it's just like, yeah, bro, you're not gonna be able to go back home.
So, you know what a coach owes a fan base more than anything else to me? Stability. So when you look at the situation in Louisiana right now with LSU, the vacuum that's created at the top results in no stability. Without stability, you can't have confidence. Without confidence, you can't have performance. And without performance, you can't win. So stability is a big part of what you do as a head football coach in college football. Stability in your locker room, in your culture, in your fan base. This guy here is a stable rock, so we can have confidence in him, have confidence in what he does, and the team can go out and perform, and with great performance comes winning, hopefully, right? Lane Kiffin owes the fan base there more stability than this. Mm-hmm. He owes it to them, if he is committed to them, to not being in the coaching search every single year. Yep. Now, is it possible that Kiffin sees something at Ole Miss that we don't see? Is it possible that there's something that's been going on for the last couple of years at Ole Miss in terms of their collective or whatever it is that they're doing that he doesn't see as something that can happen for the foreseeable future? Is it possible that he sees something that he doesn't think he's going to be able to win there like he would win somebody? Well, yeah, maybe. All that's possible. All of that's true. But at some point, if that's the deal, you got to end the dalliance. You got to end the flirtation. You got to make a move. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. Lane Kiffin, as a coach, has got to stop this nomadic era of his career. He has to stop it. There have been other coaches that have done this in all different types of sports. Larry Brown, the ultimate nomad, right? Will go everywhere, all kinds of places. But he
Kansas, UCLA, everywhere.
Kansas, UCLA, the fucking Clippers. No, what? Not the Clippers. Did he coach the Clippers?
Sixers.
The Sixers, the Pistons.
Pistons, of course, yeah.
Like
everywhere.
Like
coaching the ABA, for God's sakes.
Yeah, ultimate nomad. But he also did stay someplace long enough to get a team a championship and take a team to another championship and then win one in college as well. So he did stay places long enough to get these people and these programs and these organizations over the hump. And Lane Kiffin's got to do that. He's got to stay there and do the real soil, the work in the dirt to get somebody over the hump, man.
The funny thing is, it's really setting up perfect for him to lose the Egg Bowl. Like I feel like really there's something in the air. I just feel like that feels like a thing that might actually happen just because of how things are unfolding right now. But Van, I don't know if I asked you this already. Do you want Lane?
I mean, if you're an LSU fan at this point, you have to be okay with Lane Kiffin. If all the names are out there, Lane Kiffin is the one that you know is going to have you competitive like next season. Mm-hmm. LSU gets Lane Kiffin, LSU is competitive in the SEC next season. There are not a lot of coaches you could say that about like right now. If LSU were to get Lane Kiffin, they're going to be able to get guys in the transfer portal. They're going to be able to take those guys and at least as far as be the type of team that will still be being talked about right now, that will happen. As far as how far you can go with Lane Kiffin, nobody knows, but he certainly raises your floor.
And he could coach his future son-in-law, Whit Weeks.
Yeah. So he's certainly a floor raiser. So if you're looking for a coach that you just know a team that's coached by him is going to have some type of philosophy and a chance to go out and win every Saturday, then Lane Kiffin's a great guy. As far as can he coach a dominant college football team, we don't know that yet because he hasn't proven that yet.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say he don't coach in the style that you were talking about. Like when we said men win at LSU, that's not the way the Lane Kiffin wins is not in that style of ball.
On
you know
offense, on defense, you look at some of the dogs that they've had at Ole Miss over the last couple of years, Nolan and some of those other guys. Those are teams that were stout along the line of scrimmage and had some. Maybe they're not quite as dominant now, but on offense, yeah, he plays a more cutesy.
A lot of flash.
A lot of flash in the offense. But defensively, these Ole Miss teams in the last couple of years have been teams that didn't just go out there and did not play physical and get blown off the ball.
And if you kind of piece together, I think at the end of the season, when all this kind of dust settles and we figure out where everyone's going to go, if we put the puzzle piece together of kind of all the little droppings that he put along, all the breadcrumbs, right? Like saying John Sumrall would be a great coach in the SEC when they play Tulane. And a lot of people think Sumrall would be the coach to go to Ole Miss if he leaves, right? There's a lot of things. Whit Weeks with his daughter in LSU, his son going on the visit to LSU, right? There's a lot of things that have kind of happened throughout the season where you're like, oh, there was a little bit of a writing on the wall here that we all kind of, laughed at, scoffed at, whatever you want to say. So, I mean, Lane's playing the long game, it seems like.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like, and I mean, again, LSU has the highest ceiling of any of those programs out there. You understand why somebody would look at it. It just doesn't seem like a lot of fun, man. Like Lane, Ole Miss will love him if he stays and continues to do what he does, or they will allow him an off season or whatever, or a down year. I don't think he's going to be coming into LSU and people are going to be, as excited with him if he has a down year like Brian Kelly had or something.
Yeah, it's the same type of situation. The pressure cooker is on. Let's go to another situation where there could be a potential pressure cooker. Overreaction of the week. Steve Sarkisian, at Texas head coach there, was asked why Texas has underachieved this season, which was a fair question to ask. Preseason number 1, Heisman favorite Arch Manning. And here's the clip. Here's what he had to say when he was asked about this.
You're right, Kurt. Steve, what would you say the main reasons are this team is underachieved?
According to who?
Well, when you're preseason number 1, I think most people would agree 3 losses is not achieving what you are capable of.
I mean, I guess that's into who voted us number 1, okay? What I think is that this team has competed their tail off. They've been faced with a lot of different adversity and injuries, and a lot of stuff has come across this team's plate. And I'm very, very proud of them with their resiliency. At the end of the day, at the University of Texas, we're held to a very high standard. And the standard is to compete for championships year in and year out. And we're going to play the best teams in the country. We're going to schedule the best teams in the country. But by the end of the season, we'll play, of our 12 regular season opponents, 5 of those teams will be top 10 teams when we played them, so nearly half our schedule. And we have an opportunity at the end of the regular season to do something that nobody's done since 2019, and that's beat 3 top 10 ranked teams in the regular season. The last team to do that was LSU with Joe Burrow. So have we been faced with a pretty difficult schedule? Have we been faced with high expectations? Sure, but that's why we came here, so we'll be okay.
He says this team could be compared to Joe Burrow and the 2019 LSU Tigers. Van, your thoughts on what he just said?
That's funny. Not necessarily the Joe Burrow thing. I just remember a homeboy of mine that, look, people go through things in their relationship and they get over them. So it is what it is, guys. But I remember a homeboy of mine being in a situation with his girl and her saying to him, "How could it be this many girls?" And him saying, "Well, I never said I wouldn't do that." And us looking like, "Oh shit!" Like us looking like, he's like, "I never said," and then her going, "What?" And him going, "Man, you know I'm a G." I'm sorry, bro. It's still emblazoned. You going, "Man, you know I'm a G." Well, it was like,
was your
what are
homeboy
you doing,
Future?
dog?
Yeah,
Like what? Like what, bro? Like what? Like, it's like, man, you know I'm a G. I was like, oh shit. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you saying? That's kind of in the same vein of what Sarkisian is saying right here. Sarkisian is like, look, I never said we was number one. That's funny. I've legitimately never heard that. Sarkisian is saying, look, we out here doing, I never said we was number one. Y'all said we was number one. We playing who's on our schedule every Saturday. He's got a point. He's got a point. As far as all of the other stuff, the coach speak of how tough your schedule is and everybody that you played. There's this new phenomenon where a coach is at a press conference after he's lost a game and he goes, you know, if we get the kickoff in the second half and we don't fumble the ball at the 25-yard line and, you know, if we have a couple of different plays, then we don't lose that game by 27 points. And I just don't remember the coaches that I looked up to back in the day having conversations like that. I don't remember the coaches going out there and going, hey, if one or two things break our way, then, hey, maybe it's us that gets out there. I remember coaches going out there and saying, we lost the football game. We need to be better. Mm-hmm. And we're not quite good enough to be what you guys thought as the number one team in the country. Half of that was patented coach speak. The other half was, I never told you I wouldn't do that. You know I'm a G. And that's the first thing I thought about when I saw him saying that. But kudos for him to try to make it happen. I'll tell you one thing though. I message board surf. It's one of my favorite things to do, including our message board. People ask me, do you go on your own message board and look at your own fans blowing up? I do. The fans in Texas right now, they're not trying to hear that shit, man. They are fed up. I was on one message board that said that Sark is our James Franklin.
Oh, damn.
That is what I'm not bullshit. I'm not making that up. So I don't know if anything that he said is going to really make the Texas fans feel super great about where the team is right now or in the near future with Steve Sarkisian.
I mean, Texas fans, get over your fucking selves, man. I mean, seriously. Seriously, bro. I mean, again, I've lived my whole life. You know, I grew up in Texas, went to school in Texas, lived in Texas after. My family's still there. So I've been following the Longhorns my whole life. And again, they're acting like they're Alabama or they're Ohio State. But I would like to play a clip from Sark from not this week, but from 4 years ago.
Well, it's in year 4 of our program, and I had 3 or 4 losses already right now, and I've been banging this drum of where we're going to be 4 years from now, and we still aren't there. Then I would be concerned. But we're in year 1. We're in the building phase of where we're headed as a program. You know, in year 4, if I'm sitting here with 3 or 4 losses, then I would probably be more concerned.
Sark, you're in year 5. You're in year 5. You have 3 losses with a game left to play against undefeated number 3 Texas A&M in the regular season finale. Okay, so by your own standard, you're currently falling short. Now, again, it's unfair. That was earlier in his career. They were in the Big 12. There's no question that Sark has elevated this program.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, like they're in a much better state and place than they were under Tom Herman and Charlie Strong in the last few years of Mac Brown. They're clearly on the rise. But by your own standard, you're falling short. And remember, I'm just thinking, because as I mentioned earlier, like I've been following Texas my whole life. This isn't underachievement for Texas. I get what he's saying. This is what Texas is. Like, and the idea that they're even Georgia today is something that's more of a concept than anything we've seen in real life. Like I understand why Texas fans expect more. They've got more money than everybody. They've got this rich tradition and culture. People really care about the program. They can get in on any elite athlete in this country. But here's who you are, Texas. 1 national championship since the desegregation of the sport. 4 conference titles in the past 30 years. 4 conference titles in the past 30 years. 3 top 10 finishes since 2010. Who does that sound like? Does that sound like a team? Does that sound like the Alabama team that you all think you are? Does that sound like Ohio State? Or given that context, does 7-3 and number 17 in the country sound like who the University of Texas football program actually is?
You know what's interesting with you? Is you position this argument in a way that you can't lose it, right? And let me tell you what I mean.
Well, that's good. I'm good at this. You know,
You are good at
can't
this.
lose it.
You are good at this. You should reconsider what you're
I'm a
doing.
G.
Opt-in. You're a G. I'm a G.
I'm a G.
You know I'm a G. That was so fun. Whatever.
I'm laughing at the shit.
It's like, you
I'm
know
like
I'm a
today.
G. So with Texas, recent success dictates that they aren't who they thought they are. With LSU, traditional success dictates that they aren't who they thought they are. So your argument with LSU is that, or any team that would be like LSU, is that because they have 3 national championships, 6 SEC championships, all of that stuff, but it's since 2000, that their view of themselves isn't really anything notable because it's too recent. Now, and with Texas, that argument is exactly the inverse. Fuck everything that they've done throughout the history of college football. That doesn't matter. What actually matters is what they haven't been able to do in the last 15 or in the last 15 years. Because if you go 20 years, then it's a national championship that they won in 2005. So what team in college football?
I gave you the names. I told you.
Okay.
Alabama, Ohio State, maybe Georgia right now. But I mean, the thing is, it's
Clemson.
only a few. There's only a few of these teams.
No, fuck that. No,
I
it can't
won't
be
li-
Clemson
It
because
can't be-
Clemson wasn't.
Clemson's
The Clemson was in the doldrums until Dabo got there.
Although they
Well,
did
they
win a
won a
national
cha- they won a
championship.
And
they
I would
won.
also say
Yeah,
with
under Ken Hatfield.
Georgia, shout out to everybody in Georgia. Shout out to
You about to
Big
say
False
something
and everybody.
disrespectful.
Shout out to everybody in Georgia. But Georgia
False,
was
listen to
a
him.
perennial, also ran second place type program until Kirby Smart got there. They were good all the time, but getting meat stomped in all different types of big games.
They'd
So
always
it was-
break your heart. Yeah, they'd be
Meat
right
stomped.
there and they'd break your heart. No Sean Marino, Matt Stafford team, preseason '1. That was kind of like this version of, the
AJ
Texas
Green.
team. Yeah, right.
Champ Bailey. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. No, the thing is that only a few programs have really the right. I mean, everybody wants their program to be better, and they think that they should be competing for a national championship today, right? That like we should be right there. And I'm just like, bro, Texas, like, don't run Sark off, man. Again, Sark, he's underachieving by his own metric, but bro, are you forgetting like what has happened over the last few years, like who you are? And when I say that about LSU, I'm like, okay, LSU, like obviously there's proof of concept. They're a great program, but I'm just like, it could easily be what it was for, all those years when Booger McFarland came on and said, oh, it was like an old abandoned car with leaves on it. And then we got there with me and Kevin Falker, we turned it around. Like every programs just don't have a right to be dominant forever. It doesn't really happen for people like that. And I'm just like, Texas, like chill out, man. Your coach is much better than he was. You're gonna talk yourselves into getting somebody terrible. And if you would like a new coach, Sonny Dykes is available, by the way.
And I will say some of this came from that Athletic article this summer that was, I think it was Ralph Russo that wrote it, not to put it on him, but he said that
Ralph.
like Texas is the new Alabama. And I think some of the expectations, right, came a little bit from that. Can we get this clip from Desmond Howard? I want to get your guys' reactions to this because where there's smoke, there might be some fire. Here's Desmond Howard.
I was also thinking, don't be surprised if that Texas job opens up at the end of the season. You guys were shocked when LSU opened up. Imagine how you're going to feel if that job in Austin pops open. I'm not calling or saying anyone's going to get fired. Maybe a mutual parting of ways. You dig? Anyway, you guys have a great Monday.
The thing about that is, why would he say that unless he had heard something directly?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would he say that? Sark seems like it's getting to him with the. Why would he say something like that if he hadn't heard directly? It would be such a reckless take for somebody of his stature and position to go public with on his personal social media without having heard something.
Man, but you know what's funny?
Also,
Is
he
that-
must have thought it was going to get out. Sorry, Joel, to interrupt you. He must have thought it was going to get out to go outside in his bucket hat with sunglasses on in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, he's like trying to get ahead of it. Where he's like, he could have saved that for the show on College Game Day if he felt like it was something he could keep close to the vest, but he thought it was going to be.
Hey, don't do Joe like that again, bro. That was crazy. That was the essence.
My bad, Joel.
Oh,
I didn't
no,
see you
man.
talking.
They're like,
Tate, man.
I was looking at Van. I didn't see
Man,
you
that's
talking to
fine. It wasn't that. That was okay. We need to clear space out for Tate sometimes.
We
So
do,
I was
man.
willing
Don't
to,
fuck around with the
yeah,
essence.
man.
Implicated.
Damn.
The essence implicated.
But man, we just now got his mom listening again, man. What you
That-
doing?
that
She
was
liked the
true.
hat bit. My mom
Shout
loved
out
the hat bit. She thought it
Sutton's
was
drugstore.
hilarious.
No more essence jokes. I apologize.
Yeah.
Shout out Sutton's.
Sutton's, man. We gotta go there. Not in the green book, but that's okay. Man, your friends be arguing in front of you with their girls, bro. Like, I mean, I swear, man, they have no respect for their women. Like, it's like let's take this argument out of it.
Nah, this was a situation where something happened directly, and it was kind of a situation where we were kind of all in the middle of it, and so it just played out the way it played out.
Damn.
Then you said, you know, I'm a G.
He didn't know that was a good move in the moment because it's like, I mean, you want to have that kind of moment. You want to leave that moment with your friends for the rest of their life if you can.
I couldn't. It was so weird. When they got married, I was.
They got married?
Oh, they got married?
Oh yeah, they got married.
What?
Oh, they got married. Yeah, for
I
sure.
was about to ask when they broke
No,
it
no,
up.
no, no,
Wow.
no. They got married. I
What?
was so tempted
Oh.
on that microphone to be like, you know, I'm a G. I've been asked specifically not to. No, they're married. They're married. Yeah.
Oh,
They're
that's
married.
awesome.
Yeah, they're married. What the shit
That's a
happens
great
in
love
couples
story.
and relationships?
Man.
Yeah, we need more of
wow.
that.
Like,
We need that
I'm
stuff.
thinking this is, they couldn't come back from that one. bro.
Nah, they married. They got married. I was
Sounds
very
like she
tempted to-
respected it at some level. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man. She's like, you know
I'm
what?
gonna be real. At some level, you had to respect it, bro. At some level, you
She did a
had to
salute to
respect
service.
it. Yeah, you had to be like, we will be years later. We will be driving, just playing basketball. I'd be like, I cannot believe you said that. It's like, I cannot believe you said that. He was like, man, and it's so funny because he'd be like, man, I was at my lowest point, and that's what came out. The nigga said, you know I'm a G. I was like, what? Like, I never said that.
Oh,
man. I'm like,
I'm
God
sweating,
damn.
bro. Oh, my God.
But yeah, Joe, what are you gonna say, man? My bad.
Oh, no, I don't even remember now. I'm sorry.
Shoot.
I may have said it already.
Yeah, he put
but
it
yeah,
out
I mean,
there.
if Sark is gone, this is the craziest coaching year of all time. If Sark is gone.
If Sark
Oh,
leaves,
yeah.
is Lane going to angle for Texas? You know?
Well, I
Like,
mean, my question is this.
Man.
Does Lane know something that maybe we all don't know? Maybe it's not LSU or Florida. Maybe
They
Lane
are
is hearing
homies.
all of this stuff.
Lane and Sark are homies.
yeah.
Yeah. The
They're in a
whole
group chat
SC
together and
connection.
everything. Yeah.
Maybe Lane
And
is
Jimmy Sexton.
yeah, maybe Lane knows something. Because honestly, if we just talking resources, if the Texas job opens up, then that becomes the best job. I still think there's a cultural component that makes LSU as good of a job as anywhere in the country. But if Texas, you will have an endless bag of cash to go get the players you want.
Well, also, you looking at that LSU situation right now, you just like, man,
It's tough.
Governor Landry's thing and the Verge Osprey thing. It's like, I don't know if I really want to be involved in that, you know?
It's tough. It's tough.
Go to
So-
Austin, you get Matthew McConaughey, you get Glenn Powell,
All right,
you
all
get
right,
the
all
whole.
right.
Austin,
Yeah.
man, I had some good, man, Austin's dope, man. It's good. I mean,
Austin's
well,
a cool
I haven't been there
city.
like 20 years like I used to be, but yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
different now, my
nice.
friend. It's different.
It's different, yeah. It's ain't quite the same, yeah.
I was there this summer for a bachelor party. Good time. Shout out to
It's,
Austin.
man, it's a good bachelor party city, man. You know,
Yeah.
man, Texas relays, man. When I used to fall through back in the
Shit.
man
Whoa.
early April,
Hey.
man.
Don't get me started. Okay?
I want to go to
know I'm
Penn
a G.
relays one day.
Don't get me started about the Texas relays. You know I'm a
Yeah,
G.
Texas relays.
The
man.
Texas relays, boy. What?
We might need T-shirts that say that. You know I'm a G.
You
bring
know
your
I'm a
tailgate.
You know I'm a G. You know I'm a G.
You know, like, hey man, you know I'm a G. I'm like, oh my God.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk biggest games of Week 13, our favorite other matchups. We'll talk a little James Franklin, and we'll do Big Van on campus. We'll be right back after the break. Ring Your Tailgate is brought to you by FanDuel. Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel's got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boosting with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. This weekend, I like Pittsburgh to cover against Georgia Tech. You can look at that number right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app and go hammer it home because the ACC is total chaos at this point. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/tailgate to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on all the action. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, we're back. Ringer Tailgate. Big news of the week in the coaching carousel. James Franklin, we heard it on the rumor mills, but he's officially the head coach in Blacksburg for the Virginia Tech Hokies. He did his press conference. I would say he won the press conference. Obviously, big news, a lot of ripple effect all throughout college football. Joel, your thoughts on James Franklin taking the job down there at VT?
Oh, man, this is a home run, bro. I mean, he should not be available for Virginia Tech. He should be at Penn State. And I guess maybe Coach Franklin got tired of waiting on Florida State or Auburn or, one into them other schools. And I guess he's just like, you know what? I think I can win here. And it makes sense because Virginia Tech, for people that don't remember, they're like, if you're, 20, 25 years old, you don't remember when Virginia Tech used to be something. But, man, they won 4 of the first 7 ACC titles. Like, it's a real football school. Like, in the ACC, which is, got the reputation as a basketball conference, it's a real football place where football matters more than hoops. It's got a great home stadium environment.
Lane Stadium, so good.
It's dope, man. And look, man, if you're James Franklin, if you could get kids to go to State College, PA, you can get kids to go to Blacksburg. That's right within like his little recruiting footprint there. And then you just add to that, they just recently approved like a $230 million investment in its athletics program for the next 4 years. So you can see why that is an appealing option for James. And then look, Penn State, good luck finding somebody better. Now on the bright side, the buyout goes from $49 million to $9 million. So they got some savings out of this deal. But I think they're going to regret losing James Franklin. I actually think a lot of other schools are going to regret not getting in on this because he's a really good coach, man. It's arguable that he might have been the best coach out there on the market. And so, yeah, I think Virginia Tech made a really, really smart move to getting him and locking him down.
I think it's a fantastic, fantastic hire. I think it's great for both parties. I think he gets to go there and coach and remind people just what he can do for a program, which is build a program, solidify a program, and he gets to prove some things at Virginia Tech that maybe he couldn't prove at at Penn State. Who knows how the conference realignment and all of that stuff will shake out. Who knows if he knows who's even going to be playing in the next couple of years. But he is a good football coach, a great football coach. And for a program that has a lot of pride but hasn't had a lot of success lately, great hire.
Great traditions as well. Enter Sandman coming into the stadium. They, every time it's a key play, everybody in the crowd gets the keys out, jingles the keys. They do the hokey pokey. Not sure how I feel about the hokey pokey, but
I was gonna say they did the hokey pokey. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh man, when you go to a Virginia Tech football game, like you feel it. Blacksburg, I've been there for a couple of games in my time back in college, even before college. It's a crazy atmosphere. Been some great players. Cam Chancellor, I got to see him in person there. An incredible. Safety to watch in real life. Michael Vick, obviously, that era was incredible. Marcus Vick, not so much, but, still had some great games.
Kevin Jones, you know what I'm saying? Cornell Brown.
Yeah, they've had some great players at Virginia Tech. It is a football school, like you said, Joel. And he's got a 2-week head start on everybody with the portal and the dead period coming up. So James Franklin will make some noise at Virginia Tech. So I think it's a really good move. All right, let's look forward. Biggest games of Week 13. We'll be live on Saturday, as we always are. We got number 17. These are all the AP poll rankings, by the way. I got some people complaining about me mixing up the AP and the CFP. I'll keep it strictly AP for the games. Number 17, USC at number 8, Oregon. We got number 22, Pitt at number 16, Georgia Tech. Number 12, BYU at number 25, Cincinnati. Van, of those games, are there any that really stick out to you of those big three?
The SC game is one of the most important football games in Lincoln Riley's career.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's the biggest game of the week.
It's the biggest game of the week for sure. It's one of the most important games in the career of Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley is a bona fide, stamp, minted college football genius. He is. Call plays, work with QBs, all of that. You got that many Heismans, that many wins, that many points, you are the guy. What he has yet to prove is that he can do everything that he did at Oklahoma, at SC. Has yet to prove that. The only thing that is going to prove that is big wins. And this is the opportunity for a big win. He has a team that is rapidly improving, rapidly finding their identity. Can they go up to Austin and get a win? If they do, Lincoln Riley and SC officially back.
Damn. I like that. Man, yeah, Oregon's a 9.5-point favorite, which is kind of a
Crazy.
surprise
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, man, that's I don't think there's that much difference between those teams. But yeah, I mean, to Van's point, man, this is a big game for Lincoln Riley. If he pulls it off, man, like USC is still, we haven't talked about them a lot, but they still have a chance to make the playoffs, right? And it starts Saturday at Austin, and then they got UCLA. So it's pretty simple on paper, but obviously much more difficult to pull off in real life.
Yeah, I mean, Lincoln Riley, if he gets that win and USC's in the fold, I think the whole tenor in Los Angeles, because Van, I know being out here, I got USC neighbors. They're kind of teetering towards the edge of their patience with Lincoln Riley. So if he were able to somehow backdoor his way into the playoff, they'd be very happy about that. Favorite other matchup on the board, Van, who do you like on the board? Who do you want to watch this weekend?
Arizona State and Colorado. Lots of stuff happening at Arizona State. Surrounding Kenny Dillingham, whether or not he'll be around. Obviously, Sam Levitt and some things going on there. What's happening with that team, which was just last year at this time, was a team on the rise that went on to really make some noise in the college football playoff. You could easily look forward 6 weeks, 2 months, and have Arizona State back at square one. It's interesting to see that team perform against Colorado. Colorado, a team that we just don't talk about in college football anymore. Just don't talk about them at all. Just no conversation about Colorado or Dion or in any way, shape, or form. So interested to see that game as far as the other matchups are concerned.
Joel, what about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of the big games, I mean, man, the Pitt at Georgia Tech, man, that's going to play a huge role in figuring out sort of that mess at the top of the ACC. Because if Georgia Tech wins, it's pretty simple. They get to the championship game, and then Pitt and Miami can't make the ACC championship game. But if Pitt wins, right, and then it has Miami the following week, these are probably two of the toughest games on their schedules. Their closing stretch has been rough, right? But there's still a chance if they win on Saturday that they could make it to Charlotte. So this is a game that's going to do some sorting for us. But I mean, man, I don't know, man. The one thing I think about, man, for Georgia Tech and Can Haynes King survive? You know what I mean? Like,
that's how I feel watching every game. I'm like,
yeah,
this guy gets absolutely wrecked.
I mean, bro, man, he averages 16 carries game, man. That's a lot. They put a lot on that dude, man. And so he's gonna have to survive this game because Pitt is nasty on defense. They got a good run defense, a great linebacking core, and then you got to do it against Georgia the next week, man. I just pray for Haynes King, man, because he's got a lot on his shoulders coming up here at the end of this month.
Yeah, they might preserve him against Georgia so he doesn't get knocked out of the ACC championship game. They might have to be smart about that game, but we'll see. It's a rivalry game. You never know what's going to happen. My other favorite game on the board, Duke at North Carolina. I'm very excited to see this game. Little rivalry game. Always a close game, no matter what. I was there a couple years ago when Drake May won at home against Duke. They are back in Chapel Hill this weekend, and I know that this is going to lend itself to a conversation about what we all saw this week on Twitter. Bill Belichick is at a adult cheerleading competition leading into the Duke game, supporting Jordan. Can I do a little bit of therapy here with you guys? Like, what should I do?
Hey, don't Bill Belichick got to square Pablo up. Don't they got it? Don't they got to drop hands?
You think I shoot him to fade, huh?
At this point, don't he got to square Pablo up? I saw Pablo going back and forth with Jordan Hudson, and she started it, by the way.
Yeah, she did start it, yeah.
She started it because Pablo finds out it was voted one of the best podcasts of the year. Fantastic, well-deserved. People been talking about it all year. She got at him, and then he's going back and forth. At this point, don't Bill Belichick just got to go to some shit and go, got to go on Drink Champs and something like that and go, as a man, fuck the football. Fuck the football. As a man, he can take a shot. EFN and Nori, hey, and then
He
goes,
tells
wait,
Pablo
chill
to meet
real
him in
quick.
Temecula. Yeah.
Chill real quick. As a man, though, I want to say something. As a man, fuck football, fuck North Carolina, fuck all of that. As a man, I feel like it's certain lines that men don't cross, and stepping to somebody's girl is one of them lines. That's why I gotta say, Pablo, I need that fade. Don't Belichick gotta do that?
Yeah.
Pablo probably fuck Belichick up, but like Belichick like 90, but who don't Pablo?
Belichick's got a low center of gravity, you know?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you
Now,
think-
Belichick-
you think-
Low man
he was-
wins.
And he was a college, didn't he? Like
He's a wrestler,
He played as
right?
college football
Wait
player
a
or something
second,
like
wait a
that.
second. Y'all think that Belichick?
He got a lot of meat, man. Not no pause.
Oh
I think
my
Belichick.
God!
He got a lot. Bill Belichick got a lot of meat, but he paused. But he's a big dude, man.
Joe,
Have you seen his
what
torso?
are you doing? What
He's
are you
got a lot of
doing?
meat. He got a lot of meat there, bro. That's a lot of
What?
shit to
Joe,
move, bro.
what the
Yeah.
fuck is up with you? What are you doing? You can't do that. You can't say
Yeah, I
that.
can. Yeah, I can. I just did. He got a lot of meat. You know.
You know I'm a G.
Pause. You know I'm a G. You know I'm a G.
You know I'm a
You
G.
know
I
I'm
think
a
that's
G.
what
But-
Belichick should say in response. You know,
And Tate, I mean, look, man, people keep talking about Bill Belichick like he's, oh man, this is embarrassing. He right where he want to be, man. Bill
Exactly.
Belichick, he's doing exactly what he wants to be doing. This is where he wants to be. He's like, babe, okay, shit, man, I'll get to see your cute little cheerleading outfit or whatever.
It is
Yeah,
kind of
course,
true
I got some
love, you
time.
know what I mean? This isn't a hookup. Like the fact that he's at the adult cheerleading competition, that would give any man the ick. Watching your, adult friend who's doing cheerleading, but the fact that he's there, he's supporting.
Damn, Tate. These people are doing this shit in their free time.
I'm
you
just
know,
saying,
they
I mean,
they doing it.
it's-
It's like
Tate just
community.
fucked all
It's like
over him.
it was just like community theater. It's like, man, doing this bullshit
Man,
y'all doing
community
over
theater
here.
gets
you
a
know?
lot more respect. You know?
Okay,
Like
all
this
right, that's
is.
What is adult cheerleading? Because when I hear adult cheerleading, I think obviously about something else. But like what do they do? It's
I sent you the video so you can
it's
watch.
a hobby. It's a hobby that they do.
It's a
It's
hobby.
basically like rec league ball. I mean, if we could play hold on. Think about this.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it is.
If
like
we
rec
could
league
play
ball.
rec league ball, right? Which I've been in all different types of basketball leagues all over the city of Los Angeles. I know you have too, Tate. But if we could play rec league ball, why can't people have rec league
man.
cheerleading?
You're
Why?
right. I didn't think about it like that.
You know, if
Yeah,
we
man.
could play,
That.
I played
It keep-
softball.
That's a good
I've played
framing.
flag football. I've played basketball. They even got me out for kickball
football.
one time. Until I got to the point with kickball, I was like, I'm not out here with y'all doing this dumbass shit. and so, like,
This ain't recess.
yeah, kickball was too much, man. Kickball was like, hey, we're going to go out there. I got better shit to do.
Oh, damn.
But I fuck with kickball. I fuck with kickball when it's being played at a high level. But this was like just people. I don't play sports. Let's say this. I don't play sports for camaraderie. I don't. I play sports for competition and to get my aggression out. So when I went to play the
I'm with you.
kickball,
I agree.
it was too much. It was too wholesome. It wasn't enough. Nobody cared if they won the game. And I can't fuck with that.
See, that's
Giving
and
run
that's-
club energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife is like that because she's like, well, why don't you go do one of these things or whatever? And I'm like, after I stopped playing sports, I was like, nothing. I could never make myself care enough. I'm like, well, nobody getting paid. We're not going to the league off this shit. So it's very hard to summon the same sort of intensity. So I don't know, man. I mean, but so I admire people who can be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go have some fun. I want to go meet some people. We're gonna have a little socializing. Let's get a little sweat going. Like, people that can do that shit, man. I wish I had that. Whatever it is
you
to make you
score
want
on
to
me,
do
I
yourself. Like,
You score on me, I care. Like I like to get buckets, but like I also don't like.
So
to
you out
be-
there just
I don't like to be scored on. I don't like to give up shots. I never understood that.
you strap
To me,
up. Pause.
I like to
to-
compete.
I like to compete.
Yeah,
like
you
I
gotta
like to
compete.
compete.
That's why I
And
love golf.
anybody that's ever hooped with me will tell you it's not that much fun. It's
I mean,
not
this
that
is free time. This is free time. Why you? I understand the aggression. Maybe that's what the boxing comes into this too. But,
boxing as well.
yeah,
Boxing as
I-
well. But
yeah.
so
Hey, one
what
of
I'm
the
saying-
one of the guys I played golf with played basketball with Van back in the day. Shout out to Garrett, and he was giving me game on Van. He's like ultimate competitor. Van don't play. So
Like I'm out there. We don't do the thing where somebody drives by and you do that weak ass flick. Go stop the ball. Like
Wow.
Don't you care that he's scoring? He's better than you. You don't fucking care. Whatever.
I'd say I did a league like that once.
so
with
we're
some
all in agreement.
homeboys.
Jordan, this is her mindset. She's like,
This
I
is
gotta
her
compete.
mindset. She's just
Yeah,
trying
man.
to compete.
All
She
right.
wants to bring it on. and let her bring it on. Like
Being in cheerleading is really hard, man. You got to keep in shape and work out and all that shit. Practice. She's spending a lot of time. I don't think you could just kind of be halfway into that shit in cheerleading because they're throwing you up in the air and holding you and stuff. Yeah, man. So she's really serious about this. This is what she's doing. So man.
And I'll tell you something else with that whole situation. When I'm in these games and when I was playing in them rec league games, I expected her to show up and watch me play. We in the championship. It's me, Vic, Dev, Ryan. It's all of the crew. We in the championship. We win in the championship. We had stats. I'm going to send y'all some stat lines. We had stats the whole night. I expect you to be there. So the reality is for Bill Belichick, he had better show up to that shit.
Yeah, man. That's right.
Yeah, it's real love that he's there. He's also got Duke on the schedule this week, so let's hope to God he has done some game planning prep for that game or Jordan's involved. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I appreciate that spin on it. I was being a hater, so I like she tried to get her competitive itch out. All right, let's turn it over to you, Van. Big Van on campus. What do we got this week?
All right, are you guys familiar with the Junction Boys? Do you know what that is?
No.
The Junction Boys?
The Junction Boys, yes.
Oh, yeah, from A&M. Yeah, that was Bear Bryant's first team at Texas A&M, right?
Oh, like the history. I don't know why I went to modern times. I was thinking like TikTok or something.
So the Junction Boys.
That sounds like a good name for a TikTok group.
It is. The Junction Boys are Bear Bryant's first team in Texas. This is 1954. And what happened was
there was a movie about this recently.
They made a movie about this. Texas A&M, Bear Bryant's the coach. He puts on a legendarily grueling camp in Junction, Texas. I mean, it is completely unwoke. They aren't getting any water breaks. It's 110 degrees. The legend is that like 100 guys went down there or something, and only 39 guys came back from Junction, Texas, right? He wanted to set a cultural standard there. And part of that standard was to see who wanted to be a Texas A&M football player bad enough that they would put their bodies through all of this stuff. Now, why are we talking about this? We're talking about this because on Twitter, somebody put up one of the greatest defensive plays that ever happened in any game, and it was a play that George Teague made in the championship game against Miami where he ran down a player, forced a fumble, and then came back, played and ended up counting, but it was a fantastic play. Then I thought to myself, what is Gene Stallings up to? And what happened to Gene Stallings? Haven't heard from Gene Stallings in a long time. He was the coach of that Alabama team. I then looked up Gene Stallings. Gene Stallings is one of the Junction Boys. He's also 90 years old.
Yeah, man.
Then I looked at a list of the Junction Boys. And I have to say something about them. I think that the key to longevity in the world exists in Junction, Texas. Something happened to the survivors of the Junction Boys. Gene Stallings is 90 years old. This camp took place in 1954, which means the youngest you could have been. The youngest you could have been is 18 at that age, which means that you were born in 1936, which means that right now you are 89 years old. So the youngest Junction Boys would be 89 years old right now. Gene Stallings is 90. When I looked at the list of Junction Boys, there are, I think, 75% of them are alive.
Damn. Really?
75% of them are alive. This is according to Wikipedia. This is knowledge that I'm getting from Wikipedia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 39 Junction Boys. Let me make sure that this is right.
Because they started with 100. And I think they've had like some arguments for stolen valor over the years, where there's guys that quit that were like, I was in Junction, and then like the guys that actually held out were like, nah, he's not really one of us,
Damn.
So of these guys that are listed here as the final group of guys, 9 of them has passed away. This is 30 some odd guys. 23% of them have passed away, and of the ones that have passed away, really, 3 have died in the last 5 years. So they got some fresh ones, right?
Yeah.
The average age, life expectancy in Texas is 73 years old. So the average guy in Texas dies at 73. The Junction boys are kicking the life expectancy of Texas's ass. 77% of them are alive. The vast majority of the players who went through this intensely grueling camp that put all of this on their bodies, they're still kicking around. Stallings, 90, still doing great. I went down and looked at this. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? By the way, some of these positions are crazy. Some of these stats. Ray Barrett, who's still alive, he was a senior from San Angelo, Texas, 5'9", 195 pounds. That's a guard.
Beast.
Yeah, man. God, yeah, man.
That's a
That's
guard.
about as big as they got back then, man.
The tackle here, Darrell Brown. Well, definitely not Darrell.
They don't know the Darrells.
What no Darrells? Darrell Brown, 6'1", 190, sophomore at tackle from Dayton, Texas. He actually
R.I.P.
sadly passed away in 2011. I'm looking at this list and I'm like, what exists in Junction, Texas that these guys got into that has contributed to this incredible longevity that all of the Junction boys seen? 77% of the guys who survived the camp in Junction still alive. 90 years old. Like 89, 90 years old, these guys would have to be. Like seniors, juniors, all of these guys. Some of these guys are well into their 90s.
Man, what kind of life you think what kind of quality of life you think they having right now? Because they learned to live through some really tough shit. I mean,
I was going to say they learned toughness, right?
They learned
that's really
toughness,
the story.
man. It's just like they could be holding on, you know?
They got no water. They
No
got
water.
nothing. That
Man,
that
yeah,
movie was like on ESPN. I remember they used to play that movie. Like, you know,
yo.
on ESPN 2, and then you watch that movie, you're like, this definitely seems messed up.
I went to like a media showing for it in Dallas the year it came out. It came out the movie,
2002 or
2001. So I was in
2000,
I was living in Dallas then, and the guy Jim Dent, the guy who wrote the book that became the movie, and they had a little showing at the Magnolia Theater right there in it was not University Park. It's right off of Mockingbird Lane for my people in Dallas. But anyway, it was very cool. It was very nice, a nice time, a nice night. I remember. I forgot the Jet Pardee. A Houston football legend. Because remember, he was the coach of the Houston Cougars during the run
Coach of the Rams, right?
The Houston Oilers. So
the Oilers, okay.
the Oilers in the early 90s, some warm moon teams with Haywood, Jeffries, Ernest Givens, all them guys. So he's a Houston legend, man. And I'd forgotten that he was one of them Junction boys.
Guys, 39 official Junction boys. 30 are still alive. 30 out of 39.
That's crazy, man.
I'm looking at the list, and I'm like, oh man, what the fuck going on? Like, you know, I'm from Louisiana, and you know, we're not basically a bastion of longevity. Yeah. So I'm looking at this. I'm thinking to myself, what a weird set of circumstances has led to these guys having this specific longevity. And like, even what I'm saying, even the guys that have passed away, most of them, like the ones recently, 2023, 2020, 2020. So like,
you said
so
a lot
even
of
they stuck
2020s
around
there.
for a while.
Yeah, 2020, man. You said 2020 a couple times. Oh, I wonder what got them that year.
Come on now, this is supposed to be positive.
Jack-
Only one of these guys died.
Charles
like,
Scott
in the
from
90s.
Alexandria, Louisiana.
Yeah, like I'm looking, like I want to look deeper into this. Joel's barber.
What? Wait. What about my barber?
This beef between you and Billy.
Billy
happened?
Gill he has turned into the chat during our show.
This beef between you and Billy. Billy's still coming in. So
Come-
I am going to. Here comes Billy. I want to hear. So I am going to.
Billy, what are you doing?
For the rest of the season, I'm going to investigate. Billy, stay on. I'm going to investigate what is specifically keeping the Junction boys alive.
Here's what Jack Pardee said. He said in an interview asked about the importance of this. He said that they lost 10% of their body weight while in Junction. So maybe they literally all got such fit in shape because of that whole situation that they're just kind of like it kind of like lasted on throughout life. You know, they got in their tip top shape. I don't know. Maybe something. There.
I don't know, man. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I went through I went through 2-a-days. My first year, I lost 18 pounds because I didn't know nothing about hydration or whatever. So I lost a lot of weight. So that can just happen. But I mean, Junction,
when you don't
man.
get water breaks.
Yeah, man. That's the part of Texas, man. That is. I mean, it was. as hot as people imagine climate change to be now. Like that's like it's just known for being a sun-scorched place. They got a guy on this team called Eddie Joe Ham.
Yeah, I know he passed away. I was gonna mention that name was incredible. I saw he passed
Eddie
away,
Joe Ham. What a great Eddie Joe Ham.
and he was a center.
He
Billy,
was a center.
what's your thought about why the Junction boys are still kicking around?
Oh, I mean, it's impressive that they're still living. You're talking about 2020, what happened in 2020. We found out before you got on here, Van. Joel's barber might have been a super spreader at that time. So then he was he was banned from going to that barber anymore after this. Yeah.
I mean, look, man. I mean, that was just only the smart thing to do. I really believe, and shout out to Dame. Dame's a good dude.
If he's still with us.
I went back after a couple years. I started going back to Dame. He started cutting my hair again. And he was my barber until I left. But yo, man, he just didn't. He didn't believe in COVID, man.
He didn't believe in COVID.
He didn't believe in COVID.
Do y'all
man.
remember the 5G tower era where everyone was saying that like COVID? I don't want to get into this because like some of y'all, I'm just letting y'all know. Some of y'all niggas, I lost respect for y'all forever.
Oh man,
like y'all hit me up and y'all ask me to do stuff and I don't do it because some of y'all, the stuff y'all was putting out, I lost respect for y'all forever. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Man. I mean, Dame is a black Israelite. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay. So that's an exception.
The 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? You need to know them when you go in there. You know.
I feel you.
So,
I feel you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So
Also,
Billy Joe, we cool?
cuts Nick Bosa's hair, right, Joel?
Yeah.
He did, well, no, this is the other barber that I had to go to. That
Oh,
had
because if he cut Nick
COVID.
Bosa's hair, I was about to say that makes a lot
Nick
of
Bosa
sense.
wasn't going to that one. Yeah, nah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's probably him and Nick Bosa. You wouldn't think they would get along, but they probably best fucking friends.
Right.
How many super spreader barbers did you have, Joel?
No. The one that Nick Bosa went to was the one that allegedly
He was
had,
the COVID compliant one.
Yeah, he was
yeah.
the COVID compliant one. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you mean
but
to
I
tell
mean-
me there's no way he cut Nick Bosa with a mask on? Nick Bosa would rip that mask right off.
Man, I don't. But you know what? Nick Bosa probably had like his own individual time. And actually, the one time I did go there and saw Nick Bosa, he was in a different room. He wasn't even getting cut with everybody else.
No. That's not what happened. Nick Bosa knew that you were coming, so he went to a different room.
Stop it.
He was like, Nick
You just
Bosa-
trying.
they
You
was
trying
like,
to.
hey,
You
Joe's
trying to
about
spark
come
shit
Nick
up
Bo-
because
Nick
of how
Bosa
things
was
have gone
like,
with me and
what-
Billy. You trying
what does
to
he look
establish?
like?
It's
And
an
then they
essence
showed a
thing.
picture of you, and Nick
Yeah,
Bosa
that's
went,
what-
I gotta
I think
go
so.
to a
Actually,
different
you know
room
what?
and get the cut because I don't
It
want
is-
to be. I don't
No,
get cut around them.
Oh,
That's what he's saying, Joel.
But it wasn't nothing but. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing but in there.
Nothing but the. Oh yeah, Nick MAGA, but Nick got so many. They probably like Nick in the locker room.
They do. Have you seen? I mean, you seen his hair? You can tell if you look at his hair, you could be like, oh, okay, you go to a barber now. And I wish I could remember this dude's name.
Nick. Football players don't be caring about none of that type.
They
of
don't
shit.
give. They don't give a shit. They don't care about
They
that
don't
shit,
give
man.
a fuck about none of that type of shit.
They really don't.
Hey man, all I know is all I know is he take up a double team so I could get a sack. So that's my motherfucker. Shut up.
Yeah, so he's doing his job. I'm all good. Yeah.
All right,
Shout out
opt
to
in.
Dame.
Shout out to Dame. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to
I'm
Junction
looking to opt
boys.
in everything. We going. Everybody good. The team is intact. Everybody.
Yeah, man. I don't have no beef. I'm happy. Billy, I'm happy you're here, man. Thanks.
Billy, no beef, right? Billy's never had the beef. I think the
I
beef's
don't
been
have
coming his way. Yeah.
He
Yes,
never
one-sided.
responds affirmatively to the things that I say that are positive.
I just come here to be attacked by Joel, you know?
Well, see what I'm saying? I tried to get it back. I mean, Billy has to work on this on his own, man.
Van,
I've been trying.
Are you worried about Billy getting pulled on all these different shows? He's everywhere. Everybody wants a piece of Billy Gill now.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's dick riding to me. I mean, I'm gonna be straight up with you. You know, Billy's making a huge splash here. You know, tailgate. We're trying to get.
Got a
We're
good
getting
show
off the
going,
ground,
yeah.
doing the whole thing.
Yeah, man. Follow us on all the shit.
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Subscribe.
To me, I've been a trendsetter. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the first people that had the new Jordans at McKinley. So like that's actually not true. But like I'm not a trendsetter in any way now that I think about it. It's all bullshit. But I did have Mortal Kombat first in the neighborhood. I was the first one with the game.
Yeah.
So I will say that.
Mortal
So-
Kombat, man.
So
Billy's our Mortal Kombat? That's what you're
Billy's
saying?
our Mortal Kombat.
He's our Mortal
Okay.
Kombat.
But I mean, it's good for you. You get to go everywhere. But you know, home team tailgate, Billy. Never forget.
one day I'll tell the story about how I invented the raise the roof. You know,
What?
I invented raise the roof. You remember when raise the roof was a thing in the 90s?
You invented that.
I invented that.
Saturday? You gonna tell
When you
Saturday?
were 10, when you were the
I can tell you on Saturday. I mean, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, that's a
man. My
nice
kids
tease.
is-
That's a nice tease for Saturday.
Yeah, I'll just come back on Saturday.
I want to hear the story.
Right
We're
now?
gonna, we're gonna
No,
tell
no,
it
no,
on
no, no,
Saturday.
no, no, no,
We're gonna
no,
tell
Oh,
it
Saturday. Okay.
On
I'll tell
Saturday,
Saturday.
clear out at the end of the podcast.
Yep.
You have to tell everyone how you invented raise the roof.
Yeah, I was also involved in the founding of a word that refers to women. It was very positive. It wasn't negative.
Oh,
I was
okay.
there when
That's
there
good.
when it was created. So anyway, yeah.
What?
Anyway, on Saturday.
A lot of
Saturday.
story time. A lot of
Story time with
with
Joel on Saturday
Yeah.
with Raise the Roof. I want to hear this.
And as a reminder, we'll be live 6 o'clock on the Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Ringer Tailgate. Go to the YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. Definitely comment in the chat, especially if you like Joel's hat. I think that is our new slogan for the show there.
Man, look.
But come hang out with us. Ringer
It's not
Tailgate.
there, man.
We appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will see you all on Saturday, and you'll get a little story time from Joel. We'll see you then. Must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 27 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.